I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is a Patreon review for Jack. Thank you so much. If anyone's ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, you can either do so by joining my Patreon or sending in a request directly via my PayPal. Links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries. If so, thank you. But the review for today is The Upside. Now, The Upside is a film where I didn't mind it. I hesitate because it's been termed as cliche and predictable, and they're correct about that. It's based on a true story. How true it is, I don't know. It is cliche, it is predictable. It's two people from different backgrounds, and of course, by the end, they're friends with each other. You can pretty much see where the story's going. There's really nothing twist or turn-wise that is going to surprise you. It's something that technically you haven't seen before, but in a way you've seen plenty of times. Like, technically you haven't seen it where a guy is having to care for a guy in a wheelchair who's paralyzed from the neck down. That's Bryan Cranston's character, because there's a parasailing accident, and then Bryan Cranston is this billionaire, and he's paralyzed from here downward, and he needs someone to care for him. He's a bit, I don't want to say suicidal, but he doesn't have much love for life, because soon after that accident, his wife passed away from cancer. Meanwhile, Kevin Hart's character, he was in prison, he's on the outs with his wife and his kid, and because of his criminal record, he's supposed to get these signatures, otherwise he'll go back to jail to showcase that he's been looking for a job. And then when he comes in thinking it's a janitor job, Bryan Cranston sees him and goes, yep, him. At first, because there's the rule of DNR, do not resuscitate. And he thinks, well, this guy will follow that. And then their friendship blooms, the bonding becomes stronger, there's little ups and downs, there's arguments, there's high points. And again, this is stuff you've, maybe not the person paralyzed from the neck down, the other person has to care for them. Although there's been some movies that dealt with that, but a lot of stuff I'm saying, you go, okay, I've seen that in plenty of other movies. I will say, though, I liked the film because of Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston. Now, I'm not a big Kevin Hart guy. I've been critical of him because I think he's overrated as a comedian. There's a handful of comedies I enjoyed him in, Central Intelligence being one. But usually he just, too much. He's too much. He's too high-pitched. he delivers performances that I go, just calm down, man. Just calm the fuck down. Ease up. When I watch him in the Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I went, he's irritating and just being too over the top. Here, he's low-key. He's fairly low-key in this. Probably the most low-key performance I've seen him. And he's rather good. I wish he would do more of that. In interviews, he's more low-key. See, that's the weird thing about Kevin Hart. I enjoy him in his interviews. There's an episode he did of Hot Ones, which is a show on YouTube where people eat hot wings and then they answer questions. He was funny and good on that. Why isn't that brought onto the screen in his comedies? No, instead they got ratcheted up to 11 and ad-lib that goes on too long. But yet Kevin Hart's good in this. Again, this is from a guy that's critical of him. And Bryan Cranston, I like Bryan Cranston as an actor. And I'm not even a guy that saw much of Breaking Bad, except the pilot, which I reviewed on here. But I've liked him from other stuff. He was the best scene about Godzilla 2014 until they killed him off, which was a big mistake. But they worked well together. Their friendship, their banter is the heart and soul of the film, and that's why, despite all the predictability, despite all the cliches, despite the fact of, I'm sure someone will politically go, oh, well, the black guy is a criminal, and then the white guy is a billionaire, and the two actors did a good job, and they worked well together. And then you even have Nicole Kidman as a woman who you tell she cares about Bryan Cranston, but maybe she has more feelings for him, but she doesn't reveal that. But yeah, Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston, they worked well together. And that's really for me, the success of the film as to why I enjoyed it. Whether it be early on when they're driving and they have to lose the cops, and once Kevin Hart tells Bryan Cranston, bet you 100 I lose him. And then he tossed Bryan Cranston to making a fake seizure so that when the cops stop him, it's like, see, he's having a seizure. We gotta go, man. We gotta go. Or when he goes and thinks it's a janitor, say, hey, I need you to sign this. Actually, I need the guy who owns this. You sign it. And then Bryan Cranston kind of looks down and goes, because he's a quadriplegic, how would I sign it? And then Kevin Hart goes, I don't know. Slowly. That did make me laugh. Because he did like deadpan, I did low key, not going over the top. I don't know. Slowly. It's all about delivery as well. And he didn't... The movie's a bit too long. It's a little over 2 hours, which I don't think needed to be. And again, the stuff with his wife and kid, and he's estranged from them, and the kid, he's disappointed in his dad because of his history. You've seen this all before. To be honest, the stuff with Kevin Hart's wife and kid, they were not that interesting to me. When it focused on Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston and their back and forth, that was the strongest part. And part of me went, I wish it just... I think there's some fat that could be cut out to bring this under 2 hours. But when it's the two of them, like this other lady comes in to teach him what to do. You ever change a catheter? No. And then when he's watching her do it, Kevin Hart's like, ugh. And Bryan Cranston's like, what? I can't feel it. And Kevin Hart goes, well, I can. That was funny. But it wasn't too over the top. And you have Kevin Hart showing Bryan Cranston how to live again. Like they're supposed to go in this van. He's like, no. Okay, you want positive? Okay, then we're not going to put you in no big-ass negative. We're going to take one of these fast cars. And they do. And Bryan Cranston's starting to enjoy it. when he's choking a little bit, Kevin Hart goes, "You take a deep breath or I am going to give you mouth to mouth." Or when Bryan Cranston's in pain, he's like, "Why don't you try this?" And gives him weed. "Oh, that's not going to work." "Oh yeah, this will." And there's some good heart to these two characters, where Kevin Hart stands up for Bryan Cranston because they're talking to each other. Then they're at a place to buy stuff, and the guy just looks at Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart goes, "Don't ignore him, man. Talk to him. He's right there." And then Bryan Cranston thanks him. He's like, a lot of times I get treated as, well, as such, or I'm invisible. And either they're watching the opera and laughing at the opera, making each other crack up. Kevin Hart's making fun of a lady, going, "Hey, you can't move your body. She can't move her face with so much Botox." Or there's a party and Bryan Cranston's mad and Kevin's like, "Oh yeah, you getting mad, huh? You want me to break this?" "Yes." And start breaking stuff as a catharsis for Bryan Cranston's character. So again, I'm not going to go through every single thing of the movie and spoil everything. I would say this. If you're worried about Kevin Hart, like I said, he's very low-key. He's not being exaggerated, over-the-top Kevin Hart. I actually think it's one of his better performances. Bryan Cranston, I like him as an actor. He does a good job here. The two of them work very, very well together. Nicole Kidman, she's fine. Honestly, anyone could have played her role. It just so happens to be Nicole Kidman. Like I said, I think the film's a bit too long. It does not need to be over 2 hours long. By the end, I'm like, okay, can we wrap it up already? Again, I think there's stuff you could cut out. The stuff where Kevin Hart is dealing with his wife and kid, and he's supposed to get this book back that he stole earlier from his kid. Like, he stole the book from Bryan Cranston, gave it to his kid early in the movie, and he wants the book back because he knows the books mean a lot to Bryan Cranston. Like, I didn't give a shit about all that. You could have cut all that out. But Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston, I thought they worked well together. That was despite it being cliche, predictable, you've seen it all before, I thought those two made it work. And I'm glad I saw it because of those two. They kept my interest. Even by the end, when I'm like, okay, can the story, like I was wrapping up. Those two did a good job. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you in the next video. Later.